over the last few years, people have often picked up when I've been using a new bit of kit, and there's something that I haven't done for quite a few years, and that is like an update video on some of the new products that I've been using in testing, the products that I'm using now and the products that are coming. So that's what this upload is all about. This is to everybody who spots with your eagle eyes that I'm using new bits of kit, and then I get loads of messages saying, you didn't tell us why you were using that, where's that come from, how long's that been out? So that's what this is all about. Okay, now I've got 3 products to show you. These are now available. Okay, so you're hearing this from the horse's mouth first. Okay, now one of the items is something that I've been getting asked about for years, and it's something that I've wanted for years as well, so I'll tell you and show you that one in a moment. The first one I really need to show you, I think this is one that's going to be really interesting to lots of you, certainly you guys and gals that fish commercials. Lots of people ask about reliable landing net handles, and that's exactly what we've got here. This is one that's been tested now for 18 months by some of our top commercial anglers, and it's finally being launched. It's the Ethros XR Power landing net handle. Okay, and as the name suggests, the word power is on there. It's for commercial fishing. It's for fishing for bigger fish, heavier fish. And I get lots of messages about people who've gone out and bought a landing net handle and it's not really done everything they wanted. It might be great for silverfish, but not so good for great big margin carp and that sort of thing. The word power tells you exactly what this is all about, and I think it's going to be incredibly popular. However, there are 2 versions of this handle. Okay, as you can see there, this one is 3.5 meters, which I think will be a very popular length to use. And the interesting thing about this is 2-piece. Okay, really super strong, and that's exactly what it's designed for. They've been tested over the last 18 months. This section here has been reinforced, as you'd expect. As you can see there, the difference there, it's been reinforced for obviously catching and handling bigger, hard fighting fish. We know the difficult bit with landing nets, and that is you scoop the fish, ship it back, but as you're shipping it back, and certainly when you often get the landing net across your knee when you're sat on your box and the fish is bouncing around, this bit here is getting all that pressure, okay, from big hard fighting fish. That is the bit that's been reinforced, making it super strong. Okay, so there is a 3.5 meter version, which is, I think, is going to be very popular. However, if like me, you fish lots of different venues where you might be high off the water, you might be sat back a little bit behind reeds or lily beds and things, and sometimes you just want that extra length of landing net so you can scoop them fish. Some of these fish are really important, and if you can scoop them as quick as possible, then that's quite often the best way to go. So we have a 4.5 meter version. That is the one that I will carry, I'll be honest with you, because having 4.5 meters, it just gives me that option. It's take apart, so if you want to use it shorter than that, then you've got the option. You can just leave that in your bag. Okay, and this is 3 sections. Again, super strong, but because it's up 4.5 meters, it just gives you that extra little bit of variety and that extra little bit of reassurance that if you do need to scoop fish further out, then that will allow it to do that. So super strong. The commercial lads, I don't live on commercials, but the lads from Matrix that have been testing these, like I say, it's been 18 months now, and it's a lot of hard work's gone into these, so they are now available. Now the second product is one that I really get asked about more when I'm fishing natural venues. Lots of the venues that we fish, like this lovely lake behind me, we often have to get out in the water, and I get lots of messages, believe it or not, I know there's lots of newcomers to the sport that see me with beautiful tri-layer waterproof leggings like that, and they think I actually wade out in just these. No, that's not the case. I always have waders underneath. Okay, that is exactly what we are launching today. Look at those, even a nice fancy colour, very smart. So we've got 2 different sorts. These are again launching today. We've got thigh waders, so these are the ones that are probably most popular, certainly for people fishing on rivers, and if you're going out and not wading too far. Lots of matches and things these days have a wading rule anyway, so you can only wade up to so-called knee height or 50 centimetre, with my knee height being slightly different, so it's usually 50 centimetre. The waist high waders are absolutely perfect, especially in summer, because it means that you can still fish in your t-shirt, you're not getting red hot, and if you can't wade past that, then these are ideal. It keeps you lovely nice and clean. So those very smart waders are being launched today, but as you would would expect, we have a chest wader version. So this is, as the name suggests, goes up to the chest. These are the ones that you see lots of people fishing with in places like Ireland. There are venues where if you're pole fishing, it can pay to go further out in the water because you're getting out into deeper water within pole range. Lots of the matches I fish, feeder only, it's not so critical, but there are matches where it can make a difference, and that's exactly what those are for. Exactly the same spec, PVC as those, but they go right up to the chest and they've got the straps there for you. Fantastic product. It's something I get asked about so much, and I've got to admit, I'll openly admit that these were a little bit of a surprise. I wasn't sure if we were actually going to release these, but here they are. So you're definitely going to be seeing me using those throughout, certainly this year. Okay, so another fantastic product. The final one. Now this is one that I've wanted for years, but it's one that I get messaged about all the time, and certainly over the last year, whilst these have been in development, I've had even more questions, because the people that knew they were coming have been asking, when are they coming? What are they going to be like? How are they different? There we go. We've got Roosts. Rod Roosts. Absolutely fantastic bits of kit. Now, I've got to openly admit, and this is a fact, that we could have brought these out much, much sooner. We could have brought these out probably 2 years ago. The reason why we didn't is because we wanted them to be different from the ones that were currently on the market. You know, it's a very strong belief within Matrix, wherever possible, if we're going to launch something, we want it to be different. We want it to be unique wherever possible, and that's exactly what we've tried to achieve with these. Okay, now the one that you can see in front of me is referred to as the single. Okay, so that's a single Roost, ideal for your top kits or your rods. Most rods, when they've got reels on them, are pretty heavy, pretty sturdy anyway, but these are obviously designed for top kits as well. That's why they've got a nice little lip there to help hold your top kits in place. So obviously you can use this when you're pole fishing, or if you're fishing with a feeder or a rod and line or a waggler. Okay, really nice and compact. They pack away into this nice little bag, and the key features to this basically are they are legs that fold away, as you'd expect. They are extendable legs, so you can adjust them to make sure it's level. These legs also accept our leg extensions as well, so if you was going to wade out in the water or it was deeper than expected, you can add leg extensions to these to make them even higher, which I think is a really nice feature. They fold away obviously for transit. You've even got a nice loop there, which, as you know, most experienced people who fish, particularly on natural venues, they can be quite open and susceptible to the elements, and that one sometimes means very strong winds. By having that little loop there, lots of people carry various different things to actually clip onto there, which helps weight the Roost down when it's windy. And that could be a bucket that you might have. Some people carry, you know, the white bags that worms come in. Some people carry those worm sacks, and they might put a couple of rocks in there and just tie it to there. There's all sorts you can use. One of the favourite ones for me is the Matrix drop bucket, the PVA drop bucket. I use that, fill it with water, put it on there, and that just weights it, keeps it really nice and sturdy, stops it blowing over in the wind. All right, it's a fantastic bit of kit. We can also slide that off for easy transit, so that slides right the way off, so you can take it all the way off and put into the bag there, or you can leave it on. A nice feature of this is that you can actually leave it on for folding away. Now this version has got room for 12 top kits or rods. You get 12 top kits on there, and you get a fair few rods on there as well, depending on how you actually load it. Fantastic bit of kit. And right over here, which is one that you'll see me using a lot, is the double version. As the name suggests, it's exactly the same. However, you've got twice as many slots there, so there's 24 there. So you can fill that with top kits and get quite a few rods on there. As you can imagine, when you've got a rod on there with a reel, you can't use every single one, because obviously the reel's going to get in the way, and that's where something like this would come in really handy for me, because if I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 rods even, you're going to be able to load this up nicely with room for your reels as well. A nice feature to this, I've got to show you this, is that when this packs away, the legs fold in, okay, which I've just shown you, it goes into the bag. These actually slide off for easy transit. And a nice little feature that's just been brought to my attention is that if you did have the double one, like is probably the one that I will carry, you don't always have to set it up as a double. We can simply slide that across, and you're using it as a single, so it's not taking up as much room. lots and lots of flexibility there, and this one's got the same sort of features as that one, i.e. it's got the loop there so we can weight it down. This is a product we've been getting asked about for so many years, and you know, we feel we brought something out that's different, very reliable. It's been testing probably, I bet it's been tested for 2 years now. It's got to be that sort of length of time. There have been some tweaks along the way, but we've arrived on something here that is really going to do the job. And above anything else, if there's one thing that, you know, I've always talked about on this channel with all sorts of tackle, and that is it's durable, it's strong, and it's going to last. And you know, let's be honest, you know, when you're fishing natural venues, when it's throwing the elements at you, a product like this is going to last. You know, it's super durable. So this is the first of some updates for this year. When we launch products, I'm going to be just keeping you in the loop. It's just a little bit of an introduction so that when you do see me in my next videos, when I'm using bits of kit, you know when they're released, how we've arrived at some of these designs as well. And it's just nice to keep you in the loop with all the new products that we're bringing out this year from Matrix.